Celtic Myths and Legends by T.W. Rolleston. Chapter 5, Tales of the Ultonian Cycle. The Battle of Garach. The battle was joined on the plain of Garach in Meath. Fergus wielding a two-handed sword. The sword, which, it was said, was swung in battle, made circles like the arch of a rainbow, swept down whole ranks of the Ulstermen at each blow, and the fierce Mav charged thrice into the heart of the enemy. Now, the sword of Fergus was a fiery weapon, a fairy weapon, called the Calad Colg, Hard Dinter, a name of which Arthur's more famous Excalibur is a Latinized corruption. Fergus met Connor the knight, and smote him on his golden-bordered shield. But Cormac, the king's son, begged for his father's life. Fergus then turned on Conall of the Victories. "Too hot art thou," said Conall, "against thy people, and thy race for wanton." Fergus then returned from slaying the Ulstermen, but in his battle fury he smote upon the hills with his rainbow sword, and struck off the tops of the three Mala of Meath, so that they are flat-topped, Mal, to this day. Cuchulainn in his stupor heard the crash of Fergus's blows, but coming slowly to himself, he asked of Lag what it meant. "It is the sword-play of Fergus," said Lag. Then he sprung up, and his body dilated, so that the wrappings and swathings that had been bound on him flew off, and he armed himself and rushed into the battle. Here he met Fergus. "Turn hither, Fergus," he shouted. "I will wash thee as foam in a pool. I will go over thee as the tail goes over a cat. I will smite thee as a mother smites her infant." "Who speaks thus to me?" cried Fergus. "Cuchulainn mac Sualtam. And now do thou avoid me, as thou art pledged." "I have promised even that," said Fergus, and then went out of the battle, and with him the men of Leinster and the men of Munster, leaving Mav, and with her 7 sons, and the hosting of Connacht alone. It was midday when Cuchulainn came into the fight. When the evening sun was shining through the leaves of the trees, his war chariot was but 2 wheels and a handful of shattered ribs, and the host of Connacht was in full flight towards the border. Cuchulainn overtook Mav, who crouched under the chariot, and entreated grace. "I am not wont to slay women," said Cuchulainn, and he protected her till she had crossed the Shannon at Athlone. So we see a couple different morals or limits of our heroic serial killer, Cuchulainn. Well, there's more to him than that, but that's really how he's portrayed. And the other limit that we have mentioned is, of course, the limit of, the messengers and the unarmed people. Yeah, let's leave them alone. Oh, I don't like killing women. So I would agree with that one. And the other one.